Today, I really want to speak my mind when it comes to whether you should trade in 2024. Should you even embark on this journey in the first place? I don't think that you should even consider learning to trade unless you're willing to scrap the old version of you. It's 2024, it's a big year, and many of you are sitting there wondering whether, should I learn to trade? What strategy should I trade? I think there's a much deeper topic that you need to understand versus the things that you see online that you might not considered. So fundamentally, if you're not willing to change as an individual, it's not gonna work for you. If you think that the version of you right now, the traits you've got, the habits, your language patterns, your behavior, your mentality, just all of the habits that you've currently got, if you think that version of you is going to be built for success just by learning a system, it's never going to work for you. So you have to firstly ask that question, and I can't answer it for you. Some of you might say, yeah, I'm willing to change, but are you really willing to do that? Are you willing to get rid of your old self? Because the truth is, if you want to be successful in 2024, which is arguably one of the best years to trade, by the way, where the markets are going to be aggressive, it's one of the best years that you could be learning. That's all going to go to waste if you come into trading with the wrong mentality. How long do you think it would take me to flip £100 into £10,000? I'll do that for you. I'll even pass your challenge for you. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to start a service. I will pass the challenge for you, so then you don't have to, and you can just successfully go trade that account. In all seriousness, if you do want to learn how to trade and you want to be in the loop, join the market brief. And this is the best time for you to do that, because we're just about to start Monk Mode Month. We have a template in there that you're going to want to download so you can participate with us. It's 100% free, links are in the description. So what you've got to establish is, what sacrifices will I potentially have to make if I want to be a successful trader? Do I have to get rid of that friendship group that doesn't really serve me? Do I have to explain to my friends, right, I'm not actually going to be hanging out with you guys on a weekly basis anymore because I've got to learn? If you're in a relationship, is that going to take a toll on your relationship? Sacrifices have to be made if you want to be successful in absolutely anything. So I really want you to get clear on that answer. Once you start and you get that itch of self-improvement, right? There's also the dark side of it, which a lot of people don't speak about, where you almost become so thirsty for knowledge that what you do is go from one book to another book. I mean, probably looking on my shelf here, it's quite thin in terms of books. I have so many more. However, you will be surprised how many traders I've met in the past where they know a lot about books as a whole. So if I was to say, well, they know a little about a lot. So they know little passages on loads of books they've read, because chances are when they've moved on to the next book, they've forgotten the knowledge they read in the first book and they didn't apply it to their life. So the dark side of knowledge and embarking on wanting to become a better version of yourself is understanding that your mind is always going to be searching for dopamine, and it's not going to like the friction of, right, I've learned this, let me apply it. Because if you're not getting results, your mind's going to think, right, I need some dopamine elsewhere, so what do? Oh, if I order that book, that's going to make me feel good. And it feels like you're doing something, but the reality is you're just procrastinating. So there's the part of wanting to become a great trader is doing all of this and so much more. As I go back to my original point, you cannot be the current version of you and think you're going to go make millions. It won't work that way. Lots of our students that are successfully scaling up that came to Dubai for our wealth creation mastermind, and some of these people, they're extremely young. They're like 20, 21 years old, with all ranges and ages, but these are committed individuals that they really and truly answered that question as early on in their journey as possible. They said to themselves, am I willing to put down the version of me right now? Because if you ask that question and go, do I have the traits of a winner? Like, would I want the version of me, would I want them to trade a big account? And if you intuitively answer, well, no, I'm just not ready, you know you need to change. These guys and girls, they answered that question and said, you know what, I'm willing to put down that version of me, which means, right, again, simple journal. I'm gonna start journaling my goals. I'm gonna get clear on who I wanna be. What kind of person do I want to become over the next 12 months? This is way more important than anything else, because if you want to make money, there's lots of ways online that you can make money. Trading is not your instant ROI. So if you just started learning how to trade, in 6 months, you probably won't be profitable yet. And that's absolutely okay, it's actually normal. If you started a side business, you're just getting stock, maybe you're selling something, there's an instant ROI, and it's gonna be your business skill set as to whether you buy products for a cheap price and you're able to sell that. Trading is going to be more about your potential as a character. So are you willing to upgrade your character? You're happy to do that when you're playing video games. You understand, right, I need to level up, I need to level up. But when was the last time you leveled up yourself? When was the last time you saw yourself as an avatar and thought, right, this individual here, is this person built to be capable of trading this amount of money? Is this individual built to be capable of earning 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, and taking care of their family and living life on their own terms? So like, if you really, really want it, you can't skip this step. The market does not let you get away with anything. And even if you do it in the short term, it will come back to bite you. People won't recognize you. Family, friends, they'll start to notice changes. They'll say, oh, you've changed a bit, almost with a negative undertone. Are you comfortable with that? This is why lots of traders, they gravitate towards a community, because it's not normal to be surrounded by people that are going to support that journey. Can you see why understanding why you need to be guided by the right mentorship, the right guidance, is way more important than just, do we have a strategy with a profitable edge, or the fact that we've got an in-house fund? It goes way deeper than that, because chances are you're not going to have the support network that you need to hold you accountable and so much more, support you on your journey. Think about it just from a lonely point of view. Imagine you do manage to do it. You're this lone wolf, you do it by yourself, you make 20K. Who are you sharing it with exactly? Because your friends don't understand, your family probably think it's dodgy. So who do you actually celebrate those wins with? And then you come to realize, right, so there's so much more about me being successful and being in a community than just to chat to other traders. It's about realizing you're building a network. You're building a stronghold with people that support your journey. They're on the same mission as you. They go through the same headache as you, where other people and their close ones don't support them. They don't really understand what they're doing. And then you get to see each other win. So that is the beauty of it. Do what you said you was going to do when you said you was going to do it, long after the mood that you said it in has left you. What do I mean by that? Well, before this new year started, you was probably extremely excited. If you're someone who set some goals, you was probably over the moon thinking, 2024, this is my year. You know, I'm gonna make these changes. I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna start doing cold showers. I'm gonna keep to my word. I'm gonna exercise. I'm really gonna make this happen. And almost a couple of weeks in, you're the same version of you again. Same habits, you're just back into default mode. So it requires a lot. But the good thing is, when something is difficult, the reward is so much bigger. It's the reason why once you break through to the other side, which we've had hundreds and hundreds of people do, the other side of it, it's almost difficult to go back. That's the beauty of it. Once the paradigm has been shifted and it's been stretched, you can't go back to the original form. The same way, I can't remember not thinking the way that I think right now. And any of you that have had any level of progression whatsoever, let's say a 2 years version of you, 2 years older version of you, you won't be able to remember. It's almost impossible that you could go back and go, I can relate to how they think. It's almost like an old friend. It's not really you anymore. That's been left behind. So you have to remember that's going to happen along the way, which is why people won't recognize you. You might lose a few friends here and there. Are you comfortable with that? That's a question you have to ask. But 2024, from my trajectory, from what I'm seeing, and the plans that we've got, and the levels our community are tapping into, I personally believe it's one of the best years you could possibly learn to trade. I think it's going to be one of the biggest financial years where people level up. In our community, we're going to have hundreds of people trading high 6 figures, people stepping into that seven-figure mark. We have the Falcon yacht party in Dubai at the end of this year, so we're going to have so many traders that are going to be hitting those levels there. And we've essentially built an ecosystem over the last 7 years where you can come in, you've got the support, you've got Falcon Mechanics, which is our rule-based system. You have everything at your disposal to level up. But the only thing I ask of you, come in with the right mentality and be ready to change as an individual. And if you can do that, the chances of you succeeding is so much higher than 99% of people that get into trading in the first place.